We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they gonna get wicked. Here we go again. Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening?
What's going on with you, bro?
You know what's great? I meant to tell you the other day. Doc, I thought I saw somewhere. No, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But I kind of laughed though. This is something separately. So I saw. I know that we were talking about a couple of episodes ago. We were talking about Lori Harvey. Yeah. And Steve Harvey finally had came on out and was talking about, you know, what does he think, you know what I'm saying, about it? And he finally came on out and he was like, he said, I'm giving this one a shot like I did all of them. And so I was like, I knew that he was being honest, but when he said all of them, I'm thinking like, bro, how many bodies we counting over here though, man?
She dating, bro. Understand? Like y'all relax. I mean, obviously she's a public figure, so every move she make, everybody got eyes on her. Plus, I mean, it's Lori Harvey, so
yeah, man. Hey, let's get that music cranking up, maestro.
All right.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. It doesn't matter what your name is. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, Kennedy.
What's up?
You sound unusually congested over there, bro.
Not really congested. But this is kind of what you sound like when you got the vid.
Oh, wait a minute. Run that back.
Which part?
You said this is how you sound like when you got the vid.
Yeah.
You out here in these streets with these vids going raw dogging.
Yeah, got the vid over here.
Now listen, this is crazy. So now mind you, we got Justin as our go-to for all things white people. He is our insider. He is our white people insider for all things that we need to know. I can't use my boy Chad because he's not the regular white people.
Yeah.
You are officially. I wish I had my air horn. It is not on right now, but you are the official insider for all things COVID related. Nobody knows more about COVID than Ace Kennedy.
That's not true. You know, Justin has been there. Chris has been there.
Chris has been there. Justin has been there.
Yeah.
Listen, how is it now? I gotta make sure that Mark is safe. I gotta make sure that the research department is safe.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure that shout out to Renata who checks in that she is safe. I gotta make sure that Vixen is safe because how is it now that the contributors to the Slash Brothers podcast are coming up positive with the vid here, man? How long? I gotta ask you now. How long have you been vid positive?
Well, I don't know the details because I was exposed. And so the thing is that once I developed symptoms, it was pointless for me to get tested. And so with that being said, I started developing symptoms, I would say Sunday evening, Monday morning, somewhere along in there. And so with that's where we're at. And then to be honest, no, that doesn't mean I know everything about it now. It just means that I experienced it. It hits everybody differently. And for me, I am truly grateful that I have mild symptoms. So yeah.
You got your booty itching over there. Your booty's all itching yet from it. That's one of the symptoms.
Nah, I ain't never heard that symptoms.
Say your booty itch. So they make your balls, the area between your balls and your booty. Gooch. They said it scratches, it itches.
Gooch.
The who?
The gooch.
The gooch.
You never heard of the gooch?
No, I've never heard the gooch. I've never heard the gooch.
You never used to watch Jackass back in the day?
I did, yes.
Yeah, that's where I got it from, the gooch.
No way. No, I've never heard it referred to as the gooch. I gotta get the research department on that.
Yeah, find out what the gooch is.
Oh my gosh. Listen, man. The last episode we was talking, man. We were talking about T.I. accused of some very hellacious allegation. He was out here. They was talking about he is accused of sex trafficking, drug and chick rape, and very much. I know that we typically will say, let's just wait for the facts to come on out, and then we can go ahead and start forming our opinion about it. Although that's all fine and dandy, T.I. came out and said, "Nah, listen here, man. I'm not going to even have you wait. I'm going to tell you right now that these are some false allegations. These are some trumped up charges. And listen, what goes on between me and my wife's closed doors in our bedroom related activities, that's one thing. But to say that I forced somebody or that I'm trafficking things of that nature in my past, no, that is absolutely false." And so while I know that we typically wait to see what happens, I was kind of appreciative that T.I. came out and said, "No, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this right off the cuff." And so even with respect to the civil lawsuit that I believe that's involved, the court system, all that other stuff, I could at least appreciate that T.I. jumped right out there and said, no, this ain't going down.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. And, obviously I don't know all the details, and this is purely my opinion about the matter. It does seem as though, sounds like somebody who is not in the inner circle anymore that seems a little disappointed that they're not. And so these allegations have come up. So that's what I would assume that it would be. But again, that's just my personal opinion of looking at everything that's presented. But one of the things I did appreciate him saying is that it doesn't matter whether he did anything or not. It's what can be proven. And so a lot of times we hear Charlemagne say, it doesn't matter what the truth is if the lie is more entertaining. So with that, I just think that it's going to get ugly. And the thing is that, with every celebrity, there comes things that happen behind their four walls that, they're privy to, that regular humans may not necessarily be privy to. And so the thing is that while I'm sure she might have seen some things, I'm just wondering about NDAs and different things of that nature. Like once you get let into the inner circle, it's really difficult to, so I'm concerned, but
it feels very much to me like, according to just all of the tidbits that we know for sure, right? And the commentary about it from some of the people who not necessarily were involved, but some people who kind of know a few things, right? So I mentioned that that Tiny's best friend she had a little reality show for a short run with her. The girl Shekinah basically had a comment that was like, "Listen, you used to be out trying to get girls to slide off into some little three-ways with them. Now you're trying to be righteous about this thing." So I think that the one thing that is very interesting about this whole thing here is that, it's one of those things, one of those scenarios to me, to where it's almost like it's almost like how I hear about divorces, right?
Yeah.
Where you're cool with somebody when it's cool, right? But when you really going through it and the knives and the claws come out, then you start to see this other side of somebody, though, bro. And I just have a feeling that with this person who seems to be fairly intimate with the going-ons in their relationship, that just to build to her her public opinion's view of her, she could come out with some details that could be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she knows that much, what's stopping her from disclosing more intimate things? Like, and while those things might not matter to you and I or the casual fan or social media opinionist, right? Still, that's a lot of imagine if somebody knew the details of what goes on in your bedroom, right? What they could possibly say. Not to say that you're embarrassed by anything, but still, you know what I'm saying? What goes on in your bedroom, you'd like to think will stay behind your closed doors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but listen, I do say, like I said, if anything that happened was found out to be true, I'm gonna be honest, that's something. Sex trafficking, I would have to jump out the window and say, listen, it's time for me to fall back on T.I., the personality, maybe the music. Then we have to have that conversation, right? Where are we looking to do the R. Kelly thing where we're separating the man from the music, right? Can you, if any of this is found to be true, the harshness of these allegations, could you rock with T.I. with these things coming out to be true if that was indeed the case?
I'm always going to stand by somebody being innocent until proven guilty.
Facts.
So for me, that's not even an option for me right now to even consider, because like I believe that T.I. and Tiny have things that they do, but I also believe him when he says what I did was with consensual adults. So that's what I believe. And until there's something else presented otherwise, or until you know it's found to be guilty, that's where I stand, and I can't even go there.
Shout out to Ralph checking in. He said everybody guilty if you ask me. I think that there probably is some truth into this one, but to the point, some things may have happened with these people, but whether or not it was consensual and other, that is what I think is the key here. I don't think that there was necessary. It sounds to me that if T.I. jumped out there and said something like that, that he would feel confident that there was nothing criminal about it.
He said he had proof.
Yes. So, if you got proof, then we saw.
But he said that. He said that in his statement. He said, I have proof.
Yeah,
and so my
if
thing
you
is
swinging on proof, we solid.
My thing is that, right? How else do you get to the location though without consenting to it? Like, I don't know. Like, you know, was it an exchange? Like, hey, you come through, we'll pay you $1,000. I'll pay your rent for a year. Like, I don't know. But like, again, I'm not speculating. I'm choosing to believe T.I. until he's proven guilty.
Okay. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. It makes me more inclined to agree with that statement. The fact that T.I. came out and said, nah, this ain't happened like that. And not just that I have proof.
Yeah.
Right, so that was the big thing that we were talking about with Megan and Tory, right? Tory had never came out and said anything, right? And I think that the fact that Megan did come out and eventually said, no, it was you. I'm pointing you as the shooter. I'm identifying you as the shooter. And Tory Lanez never came out and said no, right? That's what gave you that doubt. But I'm inclined to believe that if T.I. said, no, I got proof. And by the way, this is me formally letting you know, because that's the thing that they always try to do, right? They always try to pull up what you said. They got record. Now that you put it out there, it's permanent, right? Anybody can go out there and look up what T.I. said. And so I think that him knowing that, he would have to be smart enough and confident enough to be able to stand behind what he said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with you, bro.
What's that?
You know, we've been going live now here for 14, almost 15 minutes now.
80 episodes.
Right. 80 episodes. And there is a host of sneakers that are behind.
I ain't trying to see. Listen, bro. I saw them all. Listen, man. I just thought that you was doing some. Listen. What we working with, bro? Tell me what we're working with, bro.
So every shoe back there is from a man named Russell Westbrook. And in case you guys didn't see the last game that Russell Westbrook played, then you would understand why I would have that man's shoe behind me, because I always want Russell to have my back. You know what I'm saying? And after that performance against Kevin Durant and the Nets, Russell Westbrook is that dude.
Since we bringing this up, let me ask you something, bro.
What's up?
Let me take a step back, maybe two games before that, and ask you this, since you're bringing up Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Do you have any kinds of issue that Russell Westbrook and John Wall was getting into this little back and forward, and Bradley Beal is standing on the side of John Wall? I'm saying that because of this. I remember Kevin Durant was getting into something with somebody else, and I don't even think Russell Westbrook was even suited up. There's a picture of him, and he looks like he is creeping on the backside, so that if something pops off, he's on the backside of this other person, and he got this look like, if it pop off, I'm gonna take off on him, right? But John Wall and Bradley Beal are standing on the same side next to each other, like we're boys like that. Do you, as Russell, who holds them grudges, you think he feels some kind of way about that?
Not really. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Number one, John Wall said, look, this was just normal trash talk. Like, Russ gets into it with everybody.
Everybody.
Okay, so for that, and for him to say that, for him to say, listen, Russell for years have been busting my behind on this court. So this is the first time in a long time that I get to say something to him to where I can point at the score. This was normal trash talk. This wasn't nothing. Bradley Beal and John Wall were teammates for what, 8 years?
8-9 years, yeah.
Okay. So that to me tells me they have a relationship outside of the court, right? It's the same thing when Chris Paul and Rondo got into it and LeBron was on the court. LeBron was the mediator because Chris Paul is his boy. So my thing is that no, it doesn't bother me whatsoever because Russ is his own man. Russ will fight the whole team by himself. And
apparently, so will Brandon Ingram. B.I. came from half court to swing. Listen, so let me ask you this. Do you think that it feels like for Russ that this was a playoff game? This was his Super Bowl. This was his NBA Finals because he still has an axe to grind with KD that he has not gotten over or maybe never will get over.
Listen, Michael Jordan classically does not get over grudges. Like he classically uses any and everything to bust your behind on that court. So for me, that shows me that he has a little bit of Jordan in him. I didn't say he was Jordan. I didn't say he was Jordan Jr. or nothing like that. But I'm saying Russell Westbrook has the type of dog in him that whatever he uses, like I've never seen Russ shoot like that in a while. He hasn't shot like that in a while. He hasn't shot the three like that in a while. He hasn't played like that in a while. He hasn't been as healthy like that in a while. So if it took Kevin Durant to be on that court with him for him to play like the Russell Westbrook that I'm used to seeing from Oklahoma City, I'll take it all day long.
Let me tell you the irony. The irony in it, right? It's the fact that Russell is not known as a three-point shooter. And usually everybody, if you see Russell lining up to shoot a three, you might as well run the other way because you know that it is going to be a brick. So I think that the irony in that is the fact that Russ won shooting a three, right? But more than that,
and defense.
More than that, though, He had just shot an air ball that was ridiculous the very shot before. So it's so Russell Westbrook to just act like you have amnesia and that air ball never even happened, and that you would feel just as confident shooting that air ball as you would with the game-winning shot, though, man.
He had to, because if you watch Skip and Shannon, they showed clips of Bradley Beal just giving up on the team, bro. Like,
I saw Bradley Beal just quitting
throughout the game. So you have two stars. So whatever Russ did was infectious enough for him to get himself back into the game, for him to come down the court, hit that clutch three, and for them guys to go and take the win.
Let me tell you this. So this is shout out to the homeboy Ralph for checking in as well. Ralph, this is the one thing that I can see where you're going with that comment, but I can tell you why that's starting to lose the relevancy, right? He said that hate to see this. He says, I hate to say this because I love Russ, but he's becoming a journeyman. I don't think that that's indeed the case, because I think that the years of a player playing for a single team or maybe two team, that's far gone, right? And so I think that the primary difference is LeBron has played for the same number of teams that Russ has played for. The biggest difference is that LeBron has the championships to go behind it. So if LeBron didn't have the rings and he put up the same exact numbers that he did, would you consider him a journeyman? Same exact stats, because everywhere Russell goes, he's going to put up Russell kind of numbers. So I think that I can see why he would be a journeyman, but I don't think that that's as relevant. Not to mention that you do have players like Moses Malone, who's played for multiple teams, and everybody still regards him highly as a top 25, top 30 player of all time. So I used to be real big on it holding weight that a player played for one franchise, but I think that I've just kind of become numb to that, and it's not as big of a deal to me.
It's a different game now. I mean, the NBA has definitely changed. I think the players have taken the league over to their standards now, meaning that a team will get rid of you when they feel like it, when they want to, however they want to, whatever. And now the players are taking their careers in their own hand and deciding where they want to go, when they want to go, and how they want to get there. And so I respect that, which is why I don't buy jerseys anymore. If anything, I buy team apparel, and that's it. So
yeah. I agree, man. I think that, and Ralph, I appreciate you as always, brother, for checking in. I think that it's just it is.
Hold on, Ralph. He did exactly. That's false information. He wanted to leave.
He said they're not the same player, though, for one. And then he said Russ could never dictate where he goes like LeBron. And for starters, he did dictate that he wanted to leave OKC to go to the Rockets, right, and then told them, I don't like playing with James, so y'all got to get me on up out of here. And so he did dictate that he didn't want to play. Yeah. He dictated where he didn't want to go.
And he had to approve going to Washington. It wasn't like he just said, you're going to Washington. He had to approve that. So no, that's false information, brother.
I see where you're trying to go with that. You know, but listen, I got the OKC insider over here, though, man. He's a special advisor to Sam Presti, so we kind of get privy to those kind of conversations, though, man. But either way, though, I think that I can tell that for Russell, that it was but and this is the bad part about it, because I think that it meant more to Russell than it would for KD. Like, KD probably feels like, I don't get nothing out of beating Russell, but I think Russell always will have that extra motivation.
This is what I respected the most about it. It's not so much that they won. Forget that they won. It was the way that Russell played. Like, Russ just said, no, I'm guarding KD. I'm guarding KD.
Yes. Listen, and beyond that, the thing that this is the thing that I can, and this is the thing that I like. And this is, Ralph brought up LeBron, so I'm going to bring up LeBron.
Go ahead.
Opposed to Bradley Beal. So the thing that I love about LeBron James is LeBron James understands the showmanship that comes with being a player. I think that LeBron James understands that, you know, let's say when fans are in the crowd, right? The one thing that I can understand is very much like Jordan. I think that LeBron doesn't take for granted or will take a night off because he's going to play with the Sacramento Kings. I think LeBron understands that there may be a kid that his dad saved up his money just to go watch him play, and for him to sit out. Like one of the biggest things that I can tell anybody sporting wise, right, is that I took my son to see LeBron James, and when he got his triple double, I was there when he got the most assists that he had ever gotten in a triple double against the Hawks. And so I think that LeBron understands the significance of not taking games off, and not just that you may take some breaks and everything like that. And I appreciate that Russell gives you your money's worth with every single game. And I don't think I'll ever see a highlight of Russell just quitting playing like Bradley Beal did. Like Bradley Beal quit until they start the surge. I think he was tapped out after the first quarter. He was just like, oh, here we go again.
Right. And I do appreciate that. And then Russ even gave his shoes away to a fan at the end of the game, which I thought was, Russ kind of started that. Russ was giving his shoes away back when his first shoe came out. And so other players started to do. You started seeing LeBron do it. You know what I'm saying? And so he gave a fan his shoes at the end of that game and was just like, no, please take them. And just walked off. And listen, y'all can say what y'all want to say about what he does on the court, off the court. Russ is my guy.
I get it.
Outside of Chris Paul, Russ is my guy.
Like I said, I love the fact that at the end of the day, if you show up to a game where Russ is playing, you will get your money's worth and you won't feel cheated by his effort. And whether or not they win, now listen, whether or not you can question his basketball IQ, you can question his leadership, you can question his shooting, you can question anything when it comes to Russell. But I think that to me, you can never question his heart. You can never question his effort. And maybe that doesn't always match with his IQ, with his scoring ability and all of this stuff. But I mean, I've gotten less from better players, right? I mean, I tell you all the time, the problem that I have with getting behind Joel Embiid is I just don't think that he built for it, bro. And I think that there are times where I clearly see him take games off that he's playing. I don't see that with Russ. So no, I can never. I'll always ride with Russ on that. I don't think he's a top 10 player of all time like you do.
That's right.
But listen.
What's up?
I got another question for you. Since we're talking about sports, I want to switch topics on you real quick.
Okay.
Because the big news from over the weekend was that football-wise, Detroit traded Matt Stafford to the Rams. Now, in exchange for that, they got Jared Goff, who was another number one overall draft pick. First time in NBA, NFL history, that's been done where they've swapped out number one players. But they also got like 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. So they basically gave up the next 5 years, right? They do this on all the shows. I want to get your take on this. Winners and losers of this particular trade.
I don't think anyone is. I think at the end of the day, both clubs were probably at a place that some sort of change had to happen. And I would take Jared Goff any day over the 2 quarterbacks that the Bears have. I remember what Jared Goff did to my Longhorns. So I know he's a good quarterback. He just probably needs to change the scenery. And same with Matthew Stafford. He's been there for quite a long time. And so, to be honest, I'm cool with both with the trade. I think it's one of those things like they both needed a shakeup. And so I think a change of scenery for both guys would be a good look.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I got to be honest with you, man. I think Matt Stafford is about to ball out. Now, maybe now my boy Courtney, shout out to the boy Courtney, the good folks over at Future Cinema. He may look at this differently because he is a lifelong. Listen, I only know I die laughing because I saw Stephen A. Smith say, "Don't nobody care about the Detroit Lions, but Jalen Rose, right?" Well, for me, it's like I think don't nobody care about the Detroit Lions, but Courtney Davis. He's the only person I know, and he may think differently. He thinks that that Matt Stafford has a lot to do with Detroit being sorry over the last 9 years, bro. And I just think that Matt Stafford is about to kill it. And I'm gonna say that from this perspective. I think that Jared Goff is the reason why Dak Prescott ain't getting his money, because they gave him that money after he won a Super Bowl and said, "We're going to reward you." And he played terrible in the Super Bowl and has played terrible ever since. And I honestly believe that with the wide receiving core that he has, they found a way to replace what's my dude who's Ty Gurley, Ty Gurley, right? So they replaced Gurley. They got one of the best defenses. I think that this is very easily the most talented team that Matt Stafford has been on. And I think that Matt Stafford is about to ball out. Like, I think Matt Stafford might just throw for like 5,000 yards again, bro. I think he's about to ball out. I've always liked Matt Stafford more. He wasn't the quarterback of my team, but I've seen Matt Stafford put up a lot of great numbers with some sorry players, and I would love to see what he gets a chance to do with a great team with the ability to do the same thing. I think that he was beat up a lot and injured a lot because his teams were trash. But I think that this is by far the best team. And to be honest with you, though, man, I don't see. Listen, I'm realistic, so I'm not gonna act like a Dallas Cowboy fan. Oh my gosh, I look up. Listen, I look up. I say Dallas Cowboy fan, and then it's on the line, like he heard, like his ear was burning right then and there. Listen, I'm not gonna act like a Dallas Cowboy fan, right? And think that my team just whatever. I think that the way Drew Brees looked, we took a step back. And so I think that this puts the Rams over the Saints as far as favors in the NFC. And so then that tells me that, all right, well, if Brady and them are in the Super Bowl, that means to me that they have to be the favorite next year. So then I would think it goes the Bucks. I think I like the Rams with Matt Stafford better than the Packers. And then the Packers, then maybe the Saints. But listen, if we go ahead and push the button and go get Deshaun Watson, I think it's over. I think we go straight to the Super Bowl.
Well, what I did like was that Chicago was actually in the running to get Matthew Stafford. So that means that they are on the hunt for a quarterback. So, which
I'm surprised that they didn't go harder, because I think that that's been a thing, right? Where NFC, what is that, Central, North, or whatever y'all are, they typically will go after. There's been players who play. Brett Favre played for the Vikings, right? So there's been history of that.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that that Aaron Rodgers is serious about leaving Green Bay, and maybe we go after him. So I would love to either get him or Deshaun Watson for the Bears, because I think we are a quarterback away from really making some noise.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this: if the Saints went after Aaron Rodgers, it's a wrap. Super Bowl. I think we're going. I think that if the Saints went after if we went after Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers with our team, because we already said we're not rebuilding, right? We got a team that we think can go. I got to be honest. I think that we was quarterback play away. And it's unfortunate. Drew Brees, my favorite player. I had to defend Drew Brees on here several times.
That you did.
I think that Drew Brees was the reason that we, and not that Taysom Hill was worse, but I expected more from Drew Brees, and he didn't deliver. So I don't know, but listen, we get Deshaun Watson with our lineup. We get Aaron Rodgers with our lineup. We going straight to the Super Bowl. Book it.
You heard it here first.
Book it. Book it. So listen, let me switch topics on you real quick here, right?
Yeah.
Because we jumping. Now, this is one of the things I wanted to get your opinion on. Okay, check this out. So we were talking about it. It's probably like around November or so, right? And I saw something. My birthday was coming on up, right? And I see something on the gram that Moneybag Yo for his birthday, before it got shot on up, right? That his girlfriend at the time, Instagram model, is it Ari Lennox? Let me double check on over here before I say Ari. I'm getting my Ari's mixed up here. But Ari Fletcher, golly, I'm sorry, not Ari Lennox, the singer, but Ari Fletcher. Now listen, I don't know the hustle of Instagram models. I only know her from this article, right? So I don't know her background, so I'm not counting anybody's pockets. I don't know how much Instagram models make. Before his birthday, she bought the boy Maybach, right? Maybach Benz, Ace Kennedy. My birthday was a couple of weeks afterwards. I'm looking at the research department. Like, what you gonna do? This man hadn't been with her that long, and she cared enough to buy this man a Maybach. Maybach, $300,000 and up, maybe $4, depending on what trimmings you get. Nice, long, big, expensive. I've only seen 2 in my lifetime, right? Got the real dope emblem on the front. You can tell that it's luxury coming, right? Ace Kennedy, the research department come through. She get the boy the pickup truck. I'm F-150'd out. We winning. Let me get the air horns because mine ain't working. Let me get it. Let's get it. So Ace Kennedy, fast forward. This was in November. We're in February. Rumor comes out that they done broke up, bro. Ace Kennedy. Before she bought him the Maybach, he had bought her a Lambo truck, 300 bands, maybe 4. Ace Kennedy, my question is this, bro. Now that they ain't broke, now that they not together, they bought each other high-end luxury cars. Do you say, hey man, let me get them whips, man? Let's you can come on and get yours back. Let me get mine. Let's just swap it on out. We just go ahead and keep it clean.
Nope, it's a present, bro.
You keep the cars?
Keep the cars.
Okay, let me ask you this. How long? Okay. Is it that it's a present period, right? That there's no get back, no Indian giving on that. What are the terms that you can get back a gift?
Engagement ring.
Engagement. So you propose to someone.
Yeah.
You're engaged to them.
Right.
You don't get married for whatever reason. Y'all break up.
That's right. The ring comes.
You gave her the ring.
Don't matter.
Why does the ring? I see it in the movies all the time? They break up, girl, throw the ring in the boy's face, right? Or they break up, she's leaving, she leave the ring on the table. That's how it happened on the
movies. Here's the thing, though, right? Because what are you gonna do with an engagement ring?
Take it to the pawn, get the money for it.
Nope.
Ain't that what people say? Sell it.
The point is, I'm giving you this ring to become my wife. Nah, you the ring goes back. The gifts, you keep them. The car you can drive. The car you can still do whatever. Like if it's paid for, that's your car. Nah,
even if the ring costs less. Okay, let's say this.
Let's come back, bro.
Look, let's say hypothetically. Moneybag Yo then bought her a house and the Lambo truck, right? And then he got engaged to her. The engagement ring, let's say it costs $15,000, $20,000, if that. They break up. You saying, keep the house, keep the Lambo truck, but give me back that ring.
Yeah, because he's gonna lose it. He's going to if they were to go to court for the things, the question is, was it a gift? Yes, it's done. It's you have a gift is something you give. Engagement ring is the promise of becoming spouses. Like, nah,
you gave it to her, and that now is her property.
Right. You get. Listen though, you give gifts. You can give gifts to people that aren't your significant other. Those are gifts. Those are given to the person. But when you're talking about an engagement ring, that is to become one. So now that we are no longer one, the symbol of what was supposed to be us becoming one, you got to get that back. So again, gifts are given. That the gifts are good. The engagement ring got to come back. That's my.
How far do you go now? Shout out to the boy Raph, because he just said that J-Lo has a fistful of rings, like she is about to snap her finger and make half of the world's population disappear. That she has that many rings. So how far do you go to get this ring back? Is it just a ask, or at some point she say no? do you have your cousins them go to her house?
See, here's the thing though. Celebrity engagements are so much different than regular engagements because what I'm saying is most of the time people who actually propose to somebody in the real world, it normally follows through unless you got one of them cases where the girl waits to the actual wedding and brings up text messages for you cheating or something like that. I mean, but how realistic is that? So what I'm saying is with celebrities though, man, you already know. I mean, we brought up Laura Harvey at the beginning of the episode. And so the thing is that celebrity relationships sometimes are for show. So
you got me thinking now. Has Laura Harvey ever been proposed to?
I don't know. I
gotta have somebody research that. That's important. That's worth noting.
It is.
That's worth noting. Has she ever been proposed to? Because listen, I want to say she's at least 25-ish, right? You gonna make me look this up. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Because before I say this comment, I didn't have the research department look at this one because I wasn't prepared for this question here. Hold on. I put in Lori, and the first thing that came up was Lori Lightfoot. Okay, Ace Skinner, she's 24 years old. Okay. She's in the safe area. She is in the safe area because she got that window 5 years before the red flags, all the smoke starts to go off now if she hasn't been proposed to. I don't know. Let me see this comment because I might lose it. Hold on. Oh my God. Why do I have to give it back? Even though I would give it back, in which case caused me to have PTSD. She was engaged to a race car driver. Who Lori Harvey was? Let me see something here. I don't know. Let me double check something.
The reason why I say you would have to give it back again. Why would you want to keep something that was supposed to be a symbol of your graduation of a relationship? That just doesn't make sense to me why anybody would want to keep the ring of somebody who is no longer a symbol. But a car, a house, if it's given to you, it's yours. So that's again, that's my answer. Y'all can say what y'all want, but I think that when it comes to engagement rings, they gotta come back.
So this is my thing. I think that what I understand is this. I think I agree with you, but my question would be, and by the way, Lori Harvey was engaged to a soccer player before. She said a race car driver. Maybe unless he's a race car driving soccer player, I think he was a soccer player. But listen, here's the thing. I think that what is the point, right? What is the point of keeping the ring? Like it's almost like, let me ask you this. It would almost be like if you was with somebody and you got divorced, right?
Right.
What do you do with the old ring?
I don't have mine.
So that's what I'm saying. So you get divorced, right? Think about it. Now listen, I would understand if you went and you got a big fancy ring for you as a guy, because usually the guys got the classic band.
I had a joint. I had a dope joint.
If you went out your way to get a dope ring for yourself, diamond crusted, whatever you want to do to it, then I could understand why you say, listen, I might not keep it, but I want to at least go ahead and get some of my monies back. Maybe apply these diamonds somewhere. I don't know. I don't even know that I would want to repurpose the diamonds for a new ring.
I was going to actually wear mine as a pinky ring, to be honest. I was going to get them shrunk down.
I wouldn't want anything to do with that. Anything that had to do with the ring. Like I don't want nothing to do with that. I would say, let me get my little bread, whatever I can get out of it, and go from there. But I guess my thing is that if you're the woman though, like what do you do with collecting all these rings? Like what? Think about what is J-Lo? J-Lo's can't. There's no way she got all them rings. J-Lo got 6 engagement rings. What is she doing with these 6 rings?
Nothing. She don't want no reminder of the dude that she's no longer with.
Listen, I knew somebody who told me at one time they were engaged to everybody who they ever dated, right? Everybody who ever dated tried to get them off the market. So if she didn't give them rings back, what is she doing? Collecting rings like she is soul con, collecting souls? Like, are them rings representing the souls of last relationships that she had? She just collecting bodies, and she got them on some necklace as a reminder of all the bodies that she didn't capture, bro. That's what you doing with these old rings?
Like I said, they go back, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let me switch topics here because, hey, listen, Lori Harvey was engaged before. She passes the 30 rule. She passes 30 or she's been proposed to before 30. So maybe she's not crazy as far as one of those red flags. It may be something else, but she's been proposed to. Somebody wanted to take it off the market.
Yeah.
The rapper's delight. This was one of the questions that I could not wait to ask you. Because we bring up the game all the time.
That's right. The residential gunslinger around
If
here.
somebody is going to go ahead and get broken up, the first person that comes to mind to catch up with the woman
Is the game. That's the
is the
gunslinger.
game. Ace Kennedy, I saw in an interview, the game says right now he is still the best rapper from Compton. Now, mind you, the very first thing besides the game that comes to mind to me, NWA, Dr. Dre, look, I get that. Kendrick Lamar, he says, including K. Dot, that he will out rap K. Dot. Hey, listen, man, the game is right at our age. Is this old man talk or is this old man talking?
Hey, this is old man talking. This is my opinion, right? So while I personally don't think he's better than K. Dot, I do think that he is very valid in what he said because I don't see nobody else messing with him outside of K. Dot.
From Compton.
From Compton.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I have game rated pretty high on my list, period.
Got him high on all time.
Yeah.
Higher than Mystical or lower?
Yeah. Well, so okay. So, see, from an R&B standpoint, I like the way Mystical flows, but I still think Game. I don't know. That's a pretty good. They're probably close around the same number. But Game is rated pretty high for me, bro. And so for me,
your top 10.
Maybe top 15. I you know how I am when it comes to those type of lists. I'm just saying he is definitely not like lower 50 or nothing like that. Like I like the game. The game is so for me to hear him say something like that, I have nothing against him saying that. And I don't never have anything wrong with people thinking highly of themselves. And rappers, y'all seem to be into that whole thing about the king of this, king of that, or I got and for me, I think the game is one of those dudes that deserves to say what he says about he writes good songs, like regardless of what he went through in the beginning of his career with 50, as far as like, because he proved after 50 that he could still have great albums. I just don't see nobody lyrically touching him. Now, I'm just asking because I don't. Where's Snoop from?
Snoop is from Long Beach. He's not from Compton.
Okay, so no, I like
you
I
got
said,
Snoop. Let me ask you this: do you got Snoop Dogg over the game?
Snoop has that total package, bro. Snoop is a superstar. Snoop can write, and Snoop has that R&B vibe for me. So Snoop is up there too. Snoop is up there. But
you got Snoop higher than Mystical. Because Ralph said the game would wash Mystical. Lyrically.
I saw that comment. I didn't even
listen. It got to be a Southern thing. And Ralph, you've already accused me of my East Coast bias, my bias toward East Coast. But this one is a good one because this is West Coast.
Yeah, I'm saying I think Game. I respect Game a lot, bro. I didn't know that I did until we got onto this, but I don't see anything wrong with what he said, man. I just don't. And like I said, outside of me personally, outside of K Dot, I don't know anybody else.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Okay. I can see where the game is coming from. Okay, and I'm gonna say it from this perspective, right? I think the reason why, if you're the game and you say this, is because you got the record sales, you got the billboards, you got the songs that have charted, you've had the body of work, and then the fact that he's still active.
I was just about to say him and Rick Ross is about the only two people that have survived 50.
Yes, I agree. Fat Joe as well. But listen, I think, right, speaking of Fat Joe, right, I think that Fat Joe, Rick Ross, Game, to me, with maybe not quite Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe came along. My taste for Fat Joe probably came a little bit later in his rap career, right? But if I'm the Game, though, right, this is the thing, as you get older, you might feel like you may not be as popular. But I think that in terms of the skill, I think that as long as you're active, you always get better. You may not be as popular with your better material now, but it doesn't make you, I'm sure Game thinks I'm twice the rapper I was when I was popular. So if you think that you're twice the rapper that you was when you was popping in your 20s, now he's 40, I can see why he would say that. For me, if I'm being completely honest, I think that there are only, to be honest, there may be people who I think could out-rap me. I don't think that there are very, very many people who I think could out-rap me that could write better songs than I have, right? That are better songwriters, right? And so people who I think that just could out-rap me, just out-rapping, I probably would say that Kendrick Lamar probably would just rapping. But it goes back to the fact that I have it because we do other stuff that I have never been pushed in position to only do that. So because of that, by default, I would say that, K Dot is I would say he's one of the 5 people that I would say, maybe more than that. I'm not going to say 4 or 5, but there's a handful, maybe 10 people who I think that, they just would out-rap me. But I don't necessarily think that those people who could out-rap me are better songwriters, though. I think their rapping ability.
Yeah. And
Kendrick Lamar is one of them. Busta Rhymes is one of the people. And I like that because he's active. There's a couple people who I think.
Black Theory, Black Thought.
Black Thought could, out-rap me. But I think that if I wrote a song, my songs would be better.
Yeah, 100. I could agree with that.
Yeah, I think that Black Thought is one of the people who would. I think that Royce da 5'9", he's for that same reasons why I think Royce da 5'9" raps. I love.
He can rap, but I don't know about the song. The song.
That's what I'm saying. The rap, like the rapping ability. I think that Royce da 5'9" is. Of course, Jay-Z is. Of course, I would say
not Drake.
Andre 3000. No, I don't think. No.
You don't think Drake can out-rap you?
No. I don't. I think he's good. I think he's great. But if you have me, listen, man. Mark told shout out to the homie Marcus. He said that now you a horn tutor, bro. Now I think Drake's more popular. No, you know what, man? Now that I'm thinking about it, let me think about this. I'm not gonna back off of that.
No. But
I'm just saying Drake is a good songwriter, though.
Exactly.
I have to think about that. I think Drake is a good songwriter. I got to give him. And here's the thing. To be quite honest with you, I think the thing that separates Drake from everybody else, is that he's a good rapper, but he's also a good songwriter. And I think that right now there are only a handful of people who do both of those things very well.
Now, last two that I ask you about. T.I.
I like T.I. a lot. I like T.I. a lot, man. He do both well. He do both very well. Now, I don't think that he does. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that he do them. I'm not gonna say he do them as well as Drake. He doesn't do them. Yeah, he don't do them as well as Drake. Drake does them, and Drake just see the thing about it is I think that T.I. is starting to get to where people who are older appreciate what he does more, right? Somebody who's 30 and older would. I think that Drake has a wider range of pop culture, where I think that somebody who's 15 could appreciate all of Drake's catalog now. Yeah. And I think that he's had the longevity to carry a longer span of being hot than, and not just that, being a great songwriter than T.I. did to me.
And last one, Pusha T.
Rapper only. He probably could outright. I don't think he would write a better song.
Facts.
But listen.
And even still, when you say rap better, I wouldn't necessarily say rap better.
He's one of the people I'm not gonna lie. I love Pusha T probably more than most people do. And when I say that, I'm saying this. I say this. Now I don't know. I don't agree about that rap artist. He is T.I. is a dope rapper though, bro. I don't know what you talking about on that, bro. I can't agree. T.I. is a dope rapper. Like, I'm talking about not even just an artist. I'm talking about rapping ability. T.I. can rap with the best. Like T.I., you know what? It's like I look at when people, I defend them all the time, but I think Big Boy is a dope rapper. And some people don't, because he's sitting next to Andre 3000, who is even a better rapper. But I think that Big Boy, if you put Big Boy on a track with most people, I think that Big Boy will hold his own, if not stand out more. I think the same with T.I. I think the same with Pusha T. I think the same with a lot of people though, man. But rapping ability, yeah.
I know we talked about him before, but I never really got your take on what you think about Big Sean.
I thought you know what I thought about Big Sean.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Oh my gosh, bro. I've never been a Big Sean fan. Never been a Big
rap
Sean.
Them.
I don't like his rapping at all, bro. I don't like the. Listen, I would be honest. The only thing I like about Big Sean is that he's with Janae Aoko, bro. Like I've never. Listen, here's the funny thing about it. Since we talking, and maybe if I blow and somebody go back and pull this tape, they could go ahead and say whatever, right? I just thought that Big Sean was overrated from the very first time that I heard him, bro. And what's crazy about it is I've never heard him say anything that just made me say, whoa, I would have never thought of that. Or I've never had him say anything where I was like, dang, he just says a bunch of regular stuff. And the part that I think that's craziest to me about it is that he says a bunch of regular stuff on dope beats. Like, his production is always A1. And he should, because, I mean, you think he has Kanye West. He's backed by Kanye West. And don't get me wrong, he's at a point now where his popularity has warranted him to be able to get whatever kind of production he wants. But every time I've ever heard Big Sean on a song with somebody else, he's getting out-rapped by everybody. Like, I've never heard him featured and think he has the best part of the song. He always has probably the worst verse on every. And it's weird, man. But I know some people who love, like, he had that Detroit album that came out, and somebody said, oh yeah, this is his best album to date. I was like, well, hell, that should be hard, because I didn't like none of his stuff. And I've listened to all of his stuff just because there was a time, dog, that people tried to say his peers at the time were J. Cole and K. Dot and maybe ASAP, right? And I'm not that big of a ASAP lyric fan like that. But like, when I listen to them too, And I was just like, nah, bro. Like I listen, man. I've heard Nicki Minaj kill him on his own song. I've heard him on Mercy, where he had an all right verse, and I thought he was cool. And then Pusha T comes through and smash him. And then my boy 2 Chainz comes out smashing. And then Kanye switches up to be smacked. Like he's never had, and I feel like I don't want to seem like I'm a hater. I don't hate him.
You're just saying you're not a fan of him. And
I don't particularly think that. I feel like he's so overrated, bro. Like I have never from the gate. I mean, from the gate. He's not the worst rapper, bro. I think that part of the reason why I'm more so disappointed because he's rated so high, and I just don't get it though, bro.
All right, last question to do with music. Have you listened to Eminem's new album?
No. And listen, I want to. I haven't yet. I'm not gonna say I haven't. I don't want. I do want to, and I'm trying not to base it off of his last album, right? His last album has some pretty cool songs. I personally like Eminem rapping on trap beats, bro. I think it's one of the coldest things because it seems like,
bro, the first couple of songs I wasn't a fan of, and then it just got into this groove where it was just like, all right, this is what I wanted to hear. Yeah, because it just felt like to me that he just found where he needed to be on these new style of beats with his ability. Like he really like capitalized his ability. There's one track, I couldn't even tell you the name of it, where he is just going so fast and so hard, and it was just like respect.
I listen. I like, this is the thing I don't like. So what I don't like Eminem singing. I hate every song that he sings on.
I don't think
every single song where, and listen, don't get me wrong. I think his harmonies be spot on. The mixing of his harmonies, like he knows that, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and harmonize. So it seems like he knows exactly how to do it. It is flawless. But I just hate the sound of his voice singing so badly, bro, that it's terrible. And then the one thing that was weird to me, right, was that he had a song that was kind of a club song, right? I don't know if it was the one with Juice WRLD on it. But it was weird hearing Eminem rap about popping some bottles and some club type stuff, though, man. So, and I'm not trying to just put him in that same low lane, but I don't know, man. But I do enjoy listening to Eminem kill it over some trap beats, because for the same reason why I like to hear Kendrick Lamar rapping over trap beats, it's refreshing to me to hear somebody with different content over trap beats. Somebody who's not rapping about trapping, but is rapping to a trap beat. It's almost like when I hear the boy Toby, right? He something that he has like this. His producers do some alternative style trap, and when he's killing it, it's just refreshing to hear his content isn't what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I liked it. It's a long album because I'm listening to the deluxe, but I like it a lot. So
yeah. Hey, listen, last thing, man. Let's get on out here on this one. I got to get your quick opinion, because I saw on the Tonight Show that Jimmy Fallon was kind of probing Justin Timberlake, and Justin Timberlake confirmed that there is an album on the way. Listen, hey. He did mention that, a couple of artists that he wouldn't mind collabing with. K-Dot was one, which I think would sound dope because K-Dot is another harmonizing rapper. He also mentioned Travis Scott is another harmonizing rapper. So I think those would be some good looks hip-hop wise. And I think that Justin Timberlake has done, I think that it's been like 3 years since his last album.
Yeah, the last album he did was Men in the Woods or whatever like that. And it didn't do as well. And I think part of it too, he didn't get to tour the album like he typically does. Because this album definitely needed his live performance, because just listening to it, it was so different that it was like Kanye West different.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I went back and I rewatched like the making of the album and I re-listened to some songs. I had a different appreciation for it. Obviously, I'm a JT fan.
Very underrated album.
Yes, yeah, but it definitely wasn't his best work. I it's hard.
Is it because you were mad? Okay, is it because right? So is this a matter? Okay. Is this because he's coming off of at the time wasn't Suit and Tie the last album that he had 2020? Yeah. So it's hard to come off of
not really because the second half of 20 because remember 2020 was a double album. So the second half of the 2020 album wasn't as good as even the first 2020.
Let me ask you this. So now you got me talking. I should have brought out the R&B hat for this one. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Tell me the time or who, and I can only think of two people that has came out with a classic album, right? And then came and followed it up with another album that's just as classic.
Usher.
Usher is one who I have on my list. Usher is one that I have on my list.
Mike Jack.
Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
It doesn't happen very often in R&B. It's hard.
It doesn't happen very often, period, right now. Because Jay-Z's pretty consistent.
The Bel Air 2.
That's right. I would have to say that Slipping Away is better than The Breakup. So not saying The Breakup wasn't a great album, but I'm saying Slipping Away is better than The Breakup. 100.
Yeah, it is.
Whereas I feel like the Bel Air 2 is comparable to the Bel Air 1, but I still like the Bel Air 1 better.
I'm going to be honest with you.
See, here's the thing. I think the rapping ability on the Bel Air 2 was better than the Bel Air 1, but I like the production on the Bel Air 1 than I do Bel Air 2.
Here's what I think the exact opposite. I think that for me, I like the rapping ability more on the Bel Air 1. And then I think that the production, I like it better on the Bel Air 2. And I only say that because on the Bel Air 2, I was mindful not to over rap. I literally had to purposely dummy down my content, my delivery on certain songs so that I would not come across as so rapidy rap that it would turn people off. But I did do that on the Bel Air 1.
I didn't feel that way. I know what you're saying. Like, as far as like the Bel Air 1 is your first entry into the, like, so you just did all you, and the 2, you got more business oriented with the process. Same thing what I did with Slipping Away. I mean, we both did that. We both made
right.
Music business and trying to keep our sensibilities within the sound of what we're trying to come across. Yes. But I'm just saying, as a preference, though, I still personally like the production of Bel Air 1 than I do Bel Air 2. It's not saying that the Bel Air 2 is whack by any means. Right. I'm just saying I prefer Bel Air 1 over the 2. Yeah, even though I like the rapping on 2 better than 1. It's weird.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I would have said I probably would have said literally the exact opposite. I think that I you know what it is though, man, because I think that they are so different sonically. Yeah. And it's purposely they're different though, man. And even with the Breakup, right? I think that sonically the two are night and day, right? So I don't even think that it's a comparison. I think that like I said, the Breakup to me is personal because I mean the song, the album in itself speaks volumes about where we were in life, where we were musically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that
it was a metaphor of divorce, and not necessarily divorce from a relationship. It was divorce from a relationship, as in a physical relationship from me going through a divorce. Yeah. But it was also a divorce for me divorcing a group that I was in. So it was like you said, it was a huge change. And if you really listen to the Breakup, there's so many genres on there because I didn't want to be put in a box. of this is what you're gonna get from me. Like I wanted love songs, pop songs, like neo soul, everything was on that album. So, but like you said, it was definitely where we were at the time.
Now, let me ask you this. So the interesting part about this, with JT making that announcement, is that I also saw in Justin Timberlake news that Swizz Beatz mentioned he wasn't listening to us when we added him and Timberland. But he said, hey, Drake reached out to him and said, man, when y'all gonna go ahead and make this Justin Timberlake Usher Verzuz happen? I need to see that. He could have just listened to us for that plug.
He should have just said, well, it's funny that you say that, Drake, because the Slash Brothers and Ace Kennedy reached out to me on Twitter and asked me that same exact thing.
Oh, listen. I know that we've talked about this before. Quick opinion. Who wins? Usher, Justin Timberlake. 20 songs.
I'm going to be honest. That 100% comes down to song selection.
Ooh.
And that's hard for me to say because I love Usher. I love JT, but it definitely would be song selection. And I would really want to see these two perform. Like they would have to have a band.
What's the strategy? So is the strategy, right? Is the strategy then to say, I'm going to go with the songs that have sold the most record if you're Justin Timberlake, right? Does this is what I'm wondering. How many Justin Timberlake songs give you that feel, right? Like I remember, like this was funny. I remember Suit and Tie. I remember being in Mexico when that came out, right? We were at a beach party, and I think it was Playa del Carmen, and it was popping. But I remember that because I remember that song also being played heavily then, right? How many of those kind of songs? Cry Me a River, right? I know the JT feel from that, right? How many of those he got? Because
Justin Timberlake has the hits, bro. He has them, bro. I'm telling you right now.
I got to go back to the research department on this.
You're gonna have to, and if you need help, you gotta let me know because I'm telling you.
Listen,
JT,
listen. On Friday, we gotta do a hypothetical playlist of Usher. Whose songs do you want to pick? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, given that platform,
I'll pick JT.
I would pick Usher. Okay, so you pick the Justin Timberlake songs. That if you were Justin Timberlake, if he was reaching out to you and he said, "Listen, I need your advice. Tell me what songs I should play." 20, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick the 20 Usher songs. Right now, with that being said, part of the issue is it's about timing when the songs are played as well.
100%.
If you're judging it off of who won that round, right? It's gonna be, you might got your 20, I got my 20, right? And you might have a round, but then it's almost like playing Uno, right? I might got a handful of draw fours. That means that these are the songs that I don't think any of yours could. But then there could be some ties. Right, so you play Cry Me a River, and I play Caught Up. I think that those ties, I think that they balance out to me. You think Caught Up? Listen, okay, listen. You think Cry Me a River and My Boo or Burn? That is the thing, right?
My Boo gets washed with Cry Me a River. Burn, that's unfair because I don't really like Burn like that.
Listen, okay, but even then though, right? I just feel like there are certain songs.
I understand what you're saying because like my closer, no matter what you play, my closer is Mirror.
See, I don't think the Mirror is that strong. Not stronger than Suit and Tie.
No, no.
There's no way that Mirror is better than Suit and Tie.
Look at the numbers, bro. Look at the numbers on Mirror and Suit.
No way.
I'm telling you.
Listen, I know people who've never heard of mirrors.
You crazy. You can even today, if you go to a JT concert, that's his closer.
No, listen. I know some people right now. Up like this. Okay. I know some people right now that if you say, "Hey, just hum me how does mirror go?"
We listen.
Because right now I can't even think of how mirrors go. I can't even hum the melody.
We can settle this very easy. Tomorrow that'll be my question of the day: mirrors or suit and tie. Let's just do it like that.
Dude, very simple.
That way we can bring that information up.
Say better Justin Timberlake song.
Right.
Suit and tie or mirror. Because listen, I don't even know how mirror. I can't think of right now how mirrors go.
Okay, hold on, brother. I ain't gonna get a strike. I ain't gonna get a struck. Hold on a second. Glad you said that. I'm not even for you audio listeners. I'm preparing to play just a little bit of it so that it's the first song on the thing too. That's what's crazy.
No, it's not. That is not. It is not. It is not. I heard enough.
Okay, but it's not for you to decide though. We said
listen.
We're putting it out there.
Played it. Right. Now that you've played that piece, I know the song. There's no way.
Okay. We'll see what the people say. We will see what the people say, bro. There's no point of us arguing about it.
Listen. You know what's funny?
What's up?
I just remember that year that Suit and Tie came out, New Year's. I wore a suit because of I can't wait. You can put that out tonight if you want to. You ain't put a question of the day out today, did you?
No, I didn't. But I ain't gonna put it at 7:00 at night. You know how I roll with my question of the days.
I listen. I will be front and center paying attention to that just as soon as you post it because I don't. No way. Mirrors, boy, you better go on up the street with that, man.
All right, man.
Hey, Kennedy, man, let's get on out here. We can get this music going, man. Let's take them home, bro. Hansky.
Let's go.
Wait a minute.
You're now rocking with the very best. Ace Kennedy, Charlie Venus. Check this out.
When I saw you, it was more than a glimpse. Could have told me we're the only ones here.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Let's go.
And when I walked in, your light was so bright. I couldn't keep my eyes off you.